All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 6 of our freelance training for beginners. So, like yesterday, we won't be taking too long. Our presentation will just be for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then, if there are questions or contributions or recommendations, we will take them after the presentation. I want to make do again to reemphasize that this initial 10 days of the training is just to set you on the pedestal or set you on the right path towards your freelancing journey, especially for people who are just trying to venture into the freelance industry. It makes sense to understand a few things, a few facts, a few reality, a few trends, get some guidance as to what to expect in the industry and the terminologies, that are available in the space before you get in. The whole idea is that at the end of this session, you would have been clear what area of freelancing you want to get into if you've not already decided before this training. And if you do not have any skill or you are not sure what sort of talents or gifts that you have or the kind of service that you want to offer as a freelancer, these 10 days would give you that level of clarity. And there are also bonus sessions where you're going to learn basic marketing skills using WhatsApp and social media and how to get word out there concerning what you want to do. But even most importantly, the whole idea is to be able to provide opportunities for everyone who enroll for this training to be able to acquire a skill, a freelancing skill from the diverse trainings and opportunities that we have on our platform, especially the digital skills. So as you can tell, we've been doing a lot of advertisement from data entry to graphic design to web design to project management to video editing to quite a number of them, content production and monetization and all of that. So the essence is to get as many people who do not already have skill, who do not know about the world of freelancing, who are unemployed, who are just looking for something that they can do in exchange as a service in exchange for a wage or for a fee or for a reward or for some sort of payment. So basically, we would like to see this platform as more or less like an empowerment platform or an information dissemination platform where you come here to get clarity about the things that you can do with your talent, skill, or with your life generally, basically. So please have it at the back of your mind that the first 10 years is just the introductory part that ushers you into the world of freelancing and gives you some clarity as to what to do, what to expect. If you're already a freelancer, or if you're someone who's already exploring in that space, the training will also help you get some clarity about what you probably have missed or some things that you might need to correct or you might need to, review to be sure that you are to a large extent right on track. So basically, we organize this training once every month to be able to give as many people. But one of the challenges we've also noticed or realized is either there is power problem in Nigeria, or people do not have data, or people are just unserious and just looking for the quick fix rather than finding, ways that they can find solutions to people's problems and get paid in the process. But nonetheless, as the training is going on, we are constantly evaluating, we're constantly observing and researching and finding the best ways to get as many people to learn about this opportunity and get as much information, that we're giving out here, to be able to make their lives better. But one of the plea I would want to make also in your own small bid or small support to help us grow and to get as many people to know about what we're doing here, we recommend after this session, if you haven't engaged on our social media page before, please like our page. Please comment particularly. I mean, some of you who are getting value here, I saw a comment today that made my day. So if you are here and you have not commented on, especially my own personal social media page, please, you want to do so. There's a particular post that has a number of following or a number of activity or engagement. Please just drop a comment. Tell us about what you're learning. Tell us about the impact that this is making. Or if it is otherwise also, please just drop a comment and tell us what it is you think we can do better, to make it better for the subsequent other people who will benefit from it. So today is day 6. Yesterday we had to do day 5, even though yesterday's class was supposed to be for Wednesday, because the class is supposed to happen 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we had to come back here to make sure that we get back on track with the actual schedule, or the schedule as was initially planned. So today we're going to be looking at niche. I'm sure that that word may sound a little strange or new to some people, because I mean, some people may not have heard what the word niche is, but in case you have heard, or you may not have, maybe after this class, you can also do well to Google and do some research further from the things that we will learn today. So in the freelancing industry, there's something called the niche. So a niche is basically a comfortable or a suitable position in life or employment. So in the big business space, a niche can be another word for industry. So you can say things like the film industry, you can say things like the banking industry, you can say things like the agricultural industry, like that, right? But in the world of freelancing, we don't call the segmentation or the diverse areas that people are operating or providing services, industries, or departments, or segments, or skill. What we call it is niche. So there's something called a niche market in the world of freelancing. But of course, niche also is a word that is used in the business environment generally. But like I said, in the freelancing world, it is a strong word that every freelancer must know and understand how it works, and also try to, as much as possible, specialize in a particular niche. So a niche is a comfortable or suitable position in life or in employment, right? So you can also say is a specialized segment of a market for a particular kind of product or kinds of products or services. So there are different markets for different things. So a segmented market that is focused on a particular thing or a particular market, okay, is called a niche. So product, services, or interests that appeal to a small or specialized segment of population can also be called a niche. So if there are a number of services or a number of products, say for example, in the digital space, having to offer digital services like web design, or like graphic design, like digital marketing, like social media marketing. If you choose a particular area or a particular subsection, because I mean, the fact that it is a niche does not mean that it must be one only. So if, for example, you are a web designer, you can also double as a graphic designer, and that the two skill that you have can still be a specialized niche. So niche does not mean that it must be one area. In some cases, yes, it can be, but in some cases, you can combine a couple of services or a couple of skills together and call that your niche and focus on that niche, okay? So product, services, or interests that appeal to small, specialized segments of a population. Because I mean, if you are, for example, a graphic designer or a web designer, right, you find that there are a specialized segment of people or population that has interest in those combo services. So you would learn that even though we're talking about specialization and having you to focus on a particular area, it does not mean that you cannot have a specialized niche that offers more than one or two services as a freelancer, right? I'm sure that if we make progress, you'll be able to understand that. But if you forget anything, just know that a niche just requires you to specialize in a particular area and have your products or your service appeal to a small, specialized, or small segmented population of people who need certain specific services, okay? So why have a niche? Why is it even important to have a niche? So it is important as a freelancer, especially on the digital space. But one thing I want to mention again is that freelancing does not end only on the digital space, because before we began to be digital, I would have seen myself as a freelancer if I knew the word, because what we knew then 10 years ago or freelancing has existed longer than that, but it wasn't as popular as it is now, right? So those days we call ourselves consultants rather than calling ourselves freelancers, right? So, but now in the digital space, the word freelancer has become more popular, right? So there is a need for you for everyone who wants to be available on the internet, on the digital space, to provide their services to a segmented or specialized group of people, to have a particular focus niche, because that way it will help you to attend to only that set of people. And we're going to learn about why it is important not to be a general overseer, so to speak, right? There is a saying that you're a master of something of many, a master of none, something like that. You don't want to do that. And in fact, even in business, you want to be very specific about who your clients are, who your target market are, who your customers are, because that way you're able to target them and appeal to them, especially because you're able to know what those particular set of people actually do want. And so you will make sure that your promotion materials or your services or whatever it is you're offering in the market appeals to specifically those set of people. Because if you're that person who wants to think that you can attend to everyone, I mean, you sell pure water. In fact, even pure water, right? Not everybody buys it. There is still a target market for pure water. So it's very crucial, very important that as a freelancer, it is important to have a niche, and it is important to have clarity about who your target market is. As we go on further, let me not get carried away. You're going to be able to see some of these, things that I'm talking about. So knowing the in-demand niches will help you to align your passion with the most profitable opportunities. So whether you are a newbie, you're just coming into the industry as a freelancer, or you have been a full-time freelancer, or you've started before and you're trying to get clarity, or like me, you have actually been seasoned, or you've been around for a while. Some people may have been around for a while and they may not have known specifically what a niche is. And for those who know, they may not have tapped into how to ensure to focus on a particular niche so that they can maximize their skill and reach out to the target market or the audience that they're looking to reach. So why should you have a niche? So it's very important, like I said, to ensure that your passion, your skill align, very well with the most profitable clientele, profitable opportunity, okay? So that you can be sure that you're addressing or hitting particularly to those people who need your services, and you're not just, going about the place and not attracting the clients you want, and in some cases getting confused. So we're going to look at some high demand niches that offer opportunities that will help you advance your career and upscale, especially in the digital space. Because like I also would mention, I've said this a couple of times, freelancing is not only online, but now there is more opportunities online because, of course, you know what the power of the internet is doing, right? So I would recommend still that even though we're talking about digital skills and how you can take advantage of the opportunities that are available online, if you live in a particular community where you've been able to identify a problem and you think that if you provide solution to that problem, it can actually solve this problem and it can attract you a large portfolio, a large number of clientele, you might want to consider it. So if, like I have one or two persons who partook in this training in the first batch, there was a guy who was talking about waste management and how he wants to begin to collect waste from the people in his community because there's no one doing that. I felt that it was an opportunity he found, and I felt that he was passionate about solving that problem, and he just needed a little support to be able to do that. And it was so easy for me to want to support that kind of person who has found an opportunity in their environment. So please don't misunderstand me. If you know that you live in an environment or you've been nursing an idea and there are opportunities within your domain or within the space where you are that you can actually freelance without necessarily depending on the digital space, then you're good to go. Just let us know. We will support you in terms of coming up with the kind of publicity materials you would use if you still have to either do some prints or some graphic or something that will help you at least convey the message. One of the things we'll also do here at the end of this session is that we're willing to have like a one-on-one session with a few of you and brainstorm with you, especially for some of you who have new ideas or you have existing ideas or existing businesses and you're just looking for an opportunity to scale. we're willing to take the pain to have some conversations with you and see how we can help you. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about some misconception about niche, about having a niche market. So if you prefer to be a generalist, like I said, a general overseer, so to speak, you may think that you have endless opportunities and potential clients to pitch your services. That's what most people think. But however, this isn't the case actually, because freelancers or entrepreneurs with specific niche market are seen to have expertise that delivers high quality services in those areas. So if you are, for example, a plumber who says that the only people I want to serve in my plumbing services, for example, are hotels only, you will be amazed at the number of hotels in that city where that plumber is that will be looking for him, because they will know that he does not do plumbing services for just anyone. He understands the dynamics of plumbing services for only hotels. And you'll be amazed at the number of tractions that he will have, because he has a more specific, niche market. Now, sometimes you can even have a niche, right? But you can still have a niche even in that niche. Like I just used the plumber example now, right? He's a plumber. He's skilled enough to provide plumbing services to everyone. A plumber, for example, can still be a plumber who decides that I don't want to do existing plumbing. I want to do plumbing only for new construction sites. So there are people who say my services is only for a new construction site. You'll be amazed at the number of people who are building new houses who are looking for him. He will not be interested in repairs. He's just interested in installing new ones. So I will give an example of how you can be a niche market. For example, if you're a web designer and you say, I do not want to design websites for just everybody. I want to design websites for only hospitals, for example. You'll be amazed at, if you do one website for 2-3 hospitals, how each hospital will be referring you to the next hospital who need the website, because they will kind of feel like you have a vivid understanding of how they feel, how the texture, how the UI, UX, and all the component that has to do with website for hospitals feel like. So as I'm talking, begin to think about what you want to do as a freelancer and begin to think about the specific market that you hope that you're going to serve. That way, it even makes your marketing effort easier, because you're just going to basically be talking to the people who actually do need your service. And in fact, as I'm speaking to you, this conversation or this session is helping me too, because I'm actually in a place also where we needed to specifically state clearly who we are needing to talk to, even as an organization as well, or who we're looking to be beneficiaries of this training, because just having everybody in sometimes does not really solve the specific problems that you want to solve. So think about this, okay? And see how you design your portfolio in a way that is more likely to impress only the high-paying clients that are focused on the niche area that your service, or that your service will serve, basically. So now let's look at some of the in-demand niche areas. Like I said, our trainings, our programs and activities are more focused on freelancing skills that are more digital based, right? But it still behoves on you to still do your market research and decide what market you want to serve. That's the reason we've done all the modules from day 1 to 5 that focuses more on helping you to get clarity about the thing that you and only you want to do. So there are some in-demand niche market on the digital space. And in fact, what we have been doing, we've been doing some research and trying to make sure that the skills that we provide for our trainees online, especially these ones that we offer for free with the option of just paying for certificate only to encourage the sustainability of the program until we're able to find funders and support for the program, are basically those in-demand skills that we know that everyday businesses, individuals, organizations, companies, medium businesses are looking for on a daily basis, right? So we're going to be looking at a few of them, I think about 10 of them, and we're going to see how you can find some of these opportunities if you are considering them, to learn them if you do not already have those skills. But if you have them, also how you can continue to perfect them and how you can turn this all around into a sustainable business. So digital marketing is one area that is in demand. Everyone wants to be on the digital space. The same way everybody wants to have a shop, and have an office is how everyone today wants to be on the internet. Even in digital marketing, there are niches, there are specialties. Some people can decide to focus only on social media copywriting. They may just focus on helping people to write marketing copies. Some people may just be focused on just helping businesses do email marketing. Some might just be focused on helping people ensure that their Facebook page, their Instagram page, their sales page are effective enough and are getting the right traction. There's something called SEO, search engine optimization. Some people ensure that they make your business be on the map so that when somebody Googles, for example, a web design development company or a web design company in Abuja, because the SEO service has helped you, your business will be one of the ones that will pop up as on the first few feeds. So all of these are niche market, even in digital marketing. Now, some of the other in-demand niches, like I said, is web development. Everyone, the same way they have a shop, wants to have a website. So if you are skilled in web development, as I speak to you, I'm currently looking for a web developer who's going to design something on WordPress for us, because there's a particular software we're buying, and the software company has insisted that we must have a WordPress website. That's one of the simplest kind of website to build anyway, but our website is not currently on WordPress. So web development is an in-demand skill. Graphic design, everyone wants to put their thoughts to paper into a graphic format. It is an everyday skill. You see me making noise all the time and ask you to come and learn graphic design. By the time you learn it, the potential for you to have 2 to 5 clients on a daily or weekly basis is high. Data analytics, Nigeria is thinking digital, is thinking data right now. There is national ID card, there is NIN, there is all kinds of information that they are trying to harmonize. If you have a data analytics skill, besides the clientele that are on the internet, you might potentially get a good job in any of the agencies and parastatals who's focused or determined now about data. We talked about social media management. People are looking for people who can consistently help them to effectively manage their social media pages. Virtual assistant, most people do not know how to navigate the simple things that we use the internet or the computer to do, as little as using a Microsoft, an Excel, a Zoom, all the things that people use on a daily basis that provides that everyday support. You need to learn these skills, and they are all embedded in the virtual assistant skill, and we provide this training as well. Video production and editing, as you already know, the world today is visual, right? Everyone captures everything that happens in this life today on video. So if you can edit videos for companies, for individuals, they are more than willing to pay you for it. Training and tutoring service, that's exactly what I'm doing now. So if you have any skill, any information, anything that you want to communicate or pass on to other people, whether it's basically teaching them mathematics or teaching them whatever, it is an in-demand skill. Writing services, I told you this is what I did or what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I write business plans, I write proposals, I write profiles, I write basically anything that companies or individuals need to write to communicate their message. Mobile app development, that's a bit more techy, but there's a high demand for it. People want to have apps. Project management, of course, people want to be able to choose or work with people who can help them navigate the whole segments of how a project can be conceptualized and implemented. Now, let's look at some of the tips for choosing a niche. Now, niching down can amplify your skills and expertise. Choosing a specialization helps you become an expert in the niche. Like I said earlier, if you focus on one area, people will be sure that you have solution whenever they have that particular problem. So if you are specialized, it will make you be someone that other people look at as a go-to professional when they are seeking any specialized service. So if you're a specialized person in helping only schools develop websites, when any school is looking for a website to be developed, they will come to you. They will not go to just anyone who does websites generally, because they will know that you understand the dynamics of how schools' websites should look like. Now, let's look at some of the tips for choosing a niche. So choosing a specialization offers the following benefits. You are more likely to have a steady stream of specific clients. And again, if you even have that specific clients, what that means is that you're not even going to struggle. Sometimes you're going to have templates upon templates that solves the problems of the same similar type of clients that you have. So you're going to have specific stream of clients. You can negotiate higher rates as a niche entrepreneur are usually seen to develop their skills and are in high demand. So if you are a specialty in that area, you will choose your rate because you're going to be seen as a professional and you will tell the customer exactly how much you want to be paid. You can leverage on your passion, your work experience, and interest to expand your scope later. But like I said earlier, as much as I want you to choose your passion and the areas that you're more comfortable, but it's also important to be sure that the area that you're choosing is profitable as well. So consider your passion. First thing to do is to consider your passion and skills, right? If you are also a creative person who's enthusiastic about providing a particular service, you can learn the skill in that area where you're enthusiastic about. So sometimes it might not necessarily be a passion or a skill, but it might be that you are excited about finding solution in a particular area. And so you go further to want to learn a skill. So if, for example, you are a software engineer who can help companies build mobile apps or software, for example, you may not necessarily be passionate, you might not necessarily be skillful or even passionate, but you can choose to go ahead to think that if you acquire that skill, you should be able to help people solve problems in that area. So like I said, as much as you consider to focus on your passion, on the passion that you already have, but you want to make sure that that passion that you have, you also have the skill that how do I say it now, that corresponds with the passion. Because it's one thing to be passionate, but it's another thing to ensure that in that area that you're passionate, you also have the skills that corresponds with your passion. Then research the niches with higher rates. So like I also had mentioned, even though pursuing your passion can be fulfilling, but again, while focusing on your passion, you should ensure that your freelancing job or your niche can sustain your lifestyle. So passion is good, but make sure that the passion pays well enough to be able to pay your bills and put food on the table, and also, sponsor the type of lifestyle that you anticipate or that you dream to have. Okay. So one of the things you must also ensure to do is, even after you've chosen the passion and chosen the niche and have gotten the skill, try to research on the high-paying clients that aligns or that are in that niche. Don't try, as much as it's okay to find clients who are the basement, but as you continue to improve your skill, try to find clients who are the high payers. So that way, sometimes you might not necessarily have 20 clients. Sometimes you can have only one client in the month that is able to pay fair enough to be able to sustain you, right? So whilst each niche can have unique attributes, some may be more, some may pay more than others. So try to find the ones that pay more than others. I'm trying to see if I can conclude before we go on the break and come back to conclude. Okay, so I think I still have 3 more slides. So define your target clients as well. Okay, make sure that you're able to, in that niche market, be sure who your target market should be, right? I also said earlier that as much as they can be a niche in another niche, but you want to make sure that you are able to define clearly in that your niche market what sort of business size you want to approach. So if for example, I talked about schools, right? Are they big schools? Because of course there are different kinds of schools. There are high profile schools, there are A-class schools, there are B-class schools. So you want to choose what sort of size of businesses that you want to serve. First of all, of course, you have to choose the industry, like I said. Then you choose what sort of size of businesses you want to serve. You want to research on the pain points, on what problems that they normally have or what goals that they normally have, and see how your skill or your services can help them solve that problem. Okay, so we're not able to achieve this in 30 minutes. We will take a break. When we come back, I would finalize and I will give you the opportunity to ask questions, and then after which we would call it a day. So if this stuff goes off now, let's take a break for a minute. We will come back. We will try to exhaust our 3 slides, and then we will close for today, and we'll have a